Obi-Wan Kenobi has a long history of appearing in Star Wars games dating all the way back to the 1980s, before most of you were even born. Today I'm going to go through every single Obi-Wan Kenobi appearance in a Star Wars game. There's a lot of them that go way back. Let's do it. Hey everyone, it's Andrew. The first time Obi-Wan ever appeared in a Star Wars game was in 1983's Atari Star Wars arcade game, a first-person experience simulating the trench run from A New Hope. While performing the trench run, you could hear Obi-Wan say, I guess technically Obi-Wan doesn't make an actual appearance in this game, but you hear his voice for the first time ever in any video game, so that's why it's here. And I'm pretty sure this is actually Alec Guinness saying this. It's the line taken directly from the film.
Use the Force, Luke. Use the Force.
In 1987, Obi-Wan appeared in a game that was only released in Japan. That game was simply titled Star Wars, released on the NES, which loosely followed the plot of A New Hope. And when I say loosely, I mean, basically not at all. You play as Luke and actually had to go rescue Obi-Wan, who was being held prisoner on Kessel, of all places. Now you see what I mean by the loose following of A New Hope. You'd have to defeat an illusion of Vader, make your way through some sections, and then would be reunited with Obi-Wan. Like I said, this game was only released in Japan, so everything you're seeing here is actually a translation. One of the only Star Wars games to only be released in Japan. Next up is another game simply titled Star Wars, this time released in 1991 for the NES, and then also a bit later on the original Game Boy. A side-scroller focused on the events of A New Hope. Obi-Wan eventually presents you with Anakin's lightsaber, although Obi looks a little cross-eyed. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Obi, mate, you alright? Also, for some reason, your lightsaber is orange in this. Strange. And I'm pretty sure you can also play as Obi-Wan in this game, making it the first playable Obi-Wan in video game history. Next up is another game for the NES, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, also released in 1991. Another side-scroller, Forced Ghost Obi-Wan would help guide you through the game by allowing you to unlock Force powers and telling you to go to Dagobah. He's like, get on your way, mate. Oh, and he also helps teach you how to absolutely annihilate Wampas. Seriously, this is like Wampa Murder Simulator. It's brutal.
What is this?
To meet Obi-Wan in Super Star Wars, released in 1992 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, you'd first have to make your way across this tricky platforming section. Look how perilous this is, it's ridiculous. For some reason, Obi-Wan's chilling in a cave all the way up here. Obi, mate, you could have made it easier for me to get up here. Tell me, Luke, what brings you out this far? Well, I guess he does give you a lightsaber when you get up here, and it's actually blue this time. Yes, they got the color right, so it was worth the climb up here. Even with the updated graphics and fidelity of the SNES, is that really how people say it? The Super NES, how about that? In 1992, we were still yet to play Obi-Wan's final duel with Vader. This here is all we got, and it wasn't until years later that we finally got to actually play his duel. Star Wars Yoda Stories was released in 1997 and is one of the lowest rated Star Wars games of all time. Terrible. But that's not because it was a bad game. It was more of a casual desktop game made as a replacement for games like Hearts, Solitaire, or my favorite, 3D Full Tilt Pinball. That takes me way back, man. Love playing this game. So it's kind of like a desktop adventure. You go meet Obi-Wan in the woods, and he'd send you out on missions and side quests. It was one of those kind of games you just come back to it every now and then, play it, you know, when you got a spare few minutes. What were people doing in the year 1997? I don't even remember. Long time ago now. All right, so now, the first prequel game to ever feature Obi-Wan Kenobi was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, the movie tie-in game. Even though this game had a horrendous camera angle, I mean, what even is this? Who decided this was a good idea? It was like halfway between top-down and third person. What is going on? For the first time, you could take control of a young Obi-Wan and play through the events of the Phantom Menace. You could do everything from slicing up battle droids to meeting random Gungans. Oh, also the voice acting in this game is absolutely hilarious.
I have a bad feeling about this. What is your plan, Qui-Gon?
What are they doing? And in this game, you also got to face and defeat Darth Maul. And Qui-Gon's death is literally the most tragic, hilarious train wreck of a scene.
Die, Jedi, die. No! I have killed your master.
How did this ever get approved? Next up is Star Wars Episode 1, The Gungan Frontier, a Star Wars learning game released in 1999. At the start of the game, you can choose to play as either Queen Amidala or Obi-Wan. You don't actually really get to play as him. This game's objective, it's your job to introduce organisms to one of Naboo's moons to create an ecosystem for the Gungans to go live. So yep, there you go. Obi-Wan's in this one. He's there. Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles was released in the year 2000 for the PS1 and then later for the Dreamcast and Game Boy Advance. You'd loosely play through the events of the Phantom Menace as one of 5 Jedi, either Qui-Gon, Mace Windu, Adi Gallia, Plo Koon, or Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi. And what was unique about this game is that each of the Jedi had their own fighting styles and force powers. Each character was unique, so you could replay the whole game as each character to feel like a whole new experience. With a variety of beat-em-up and platforming sections, this one is a true classic. Star Wars Episode 1 Obi-Wan's Adventures is Obi-Wan's first standalone game dedicated entirely to Mr. High Ground himself. Released for the Game Boy Color, you'd play through what's called an isometric adventure set during the Phantom Menace. One cool thing about this game, if you timed it right, you could make Obi-Wan actually deflect blaster bolts. This is pretty rare for Star Wars games back then, and Obi-Wan could even use a blaster. What? So I guess he was practicing for his appearance in the Obi-Wan series. One of my all-time favorite Star Wars games is Star Wars Super Bombad Racing, released in 2001. Oh my gosh, the classic! You know why it's one of my favorites? Because it features bobblehead Obi-Wan, who pilots a mini version of the Republic cruiser. This game was made kind of as a Mario Kart copy and was a true classic of the early 2000s. In 2001, Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds released on PC. This was a real-time strategy game featuring campaigns and missions inspired by the battles and events of the films, meaning you could play as Obi-Wan. Here he is!
Obi-Wan Kenobi, standing by.
In 2001, Obi-Wan received another game entirely dedicated to his legacy, Star Wars Obi-Wan, released exclusively for the original Xbox as one of the launch titles. Look how green the cover is. It's like the Xbox green. They really had the marketing for this one down. This game is kind of like a prequel to the Phantom Menace and allows you to play through some of Obi-Wan's Jedi training along with other events leading up to the Phantom Menace. It's got its own story and you do actually eventually get to fight Darth Maul and defeat him at the expense of your master Qui-Gon. One unique feature of this game was that you controlled Obi-Wan's lightsaber using the right analog stick, a mechanic never to be repeated in any other Star Wars game, to my knowledge. Probably because it was a terrible idea. Why would you want that? The amount of jankiness. It's so janky! Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones was released in 2002 for the Game Boy Advance. And as far as movie tie-in games go, this is one of the worst. Some critics gave it a 1 out of 10. A 1, people. Clunky mechanics, boring combat, random droids attacking you on Kamino. The best thing about this game was Obi-Wan's mullet. It was the first time it ever appeared in a Star Wars game. Look at the mullet! Star Wars The Clone Wars was released in 2002 and allowed you to play as Obi-Wan Kenobi on a speeder bike. Mullet flapping behind in the wind. Lots of vehicles in this game also, from speeder bikes to LAATs, TX-130s. I don't think you actually get to play as Obi-Wan on the ground though. I think it's just vehicles mainly, right? Can someone correct me? Star Wars The New Droid Army is a game I didn't know existed until now. Released in 2002, you play as Anakin after Attack of the Clones and eventually defeat Count Dooku. Obi-Wan first appears as a hologram once Anakin completes a mission, and the entire time Anakin's talking to Obi-Wan, he's standing there with that classic Anakin stance. Look at him. He's blocking everything. Good work, Anakin, but now I need you to return to Coruscant immediately. We are under attack. Oh my gosh, it's Obi-Wan. But he's not actually coming on the mission with you. He walks off. Now, I think Obi-Wan appears in Star Wars Flight of the Falcon, released in 2003 for Game Boy Advance. I think he's in Luke's land speeder here. I'm pretty sure, not fully sure. He could be here. Take it if you want it. Star Wars Trilogy Apprentice of the Force, released in 2004 for the Game Boy Advance as another fresh take on the original trilogy. Playing as Luke, you'd eventually meet Obi-Wan. Here, it's not really a meeting, I guess. It's more just like, yeah, there's a kind of half image of Obi-Wan there. And once again, we only get a brief mention of Obi-Wan's duel with Vader. Seriously, when do we actually get to play the duel? I want to play the duel. It's, what is it, 2004 already? We still haven't played any duel. Well, I'll tell you when you can play it. In the original LEGO Star Wars the video game, released in 2005, this game featured 3 different versions of Obi-Wan: Padawan, Mullet, and Revenge of the Sith. And finally, you could face off against Darth Vader in their duel during Revenge of the Sith, where you'd slice Anakin in half and walk off as his legs melted into the lava river. The true Jedi way. There was also a handheld version of this game that was completely different to the console version. Obi-Wan also appears in this. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is personally my favorite Star Wars game of all time, and my favorite Obi-Wan appearance of all time, because he's truly Obi-Wan in this game. The humor, the cheekiness, the high ground, it's all here in this game. They get it so right.
Don't worry, Master.
I'm not worried.
This will be no problem.
Did I say I was worried?
This might be a problem.
And also, he has his own skill set and lightsaber moves, just like every other character in this game. And in the Versus mode, you could even play as Old Man Ben Kenobi, and I'm pretty sure this is the first time we finally got to play Obi-Wan and Vader's duel on the Death Star. You play through it, and if I'm being honest, the version you play in this game is way more exciting than the film. None of those slow Obi-Wan spins, you know what I'm saying? 2005 was, of course, the greatest year for Star Wars games ever, because we also got the timeless classic Star Wars Battlefront 2, featuring Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, playable on Mos Eisley, Kamino, Utapau, Naboo, Mustafar, and the Death Star. For Force abilities, Obi-Wan could use both a Force push and a saber throw, and of course, he always had the high ground. So Obi-Wan doesn't appear in Star Wars Republic Commando, the fourth Star Wars game to come from 2005, the greatest year of all time, but he did appear in the mobile version of this game. Yes, in 2005, there was a mobile version of Star Wars Republic Commando with the subheading Order 66. This version was completely different to the console game, its own game, and was basically you playing as Republic Commandos, going around and hunting down Jedi, one of whom is Obi-Wan Kenobi. This game was made for Nokia phones, and it's literally an amazing concept. I went and played through the whole thing. You can watch that in this video here. Would definitely recommend. You can play as Obi-Wan in Star Wars Empire at War. What? He's in this game? What? I had no idea. There he is. LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, released in 2006, of course also featured Obi-Wan Kenobi. But this time around, we got old Ben Kenobi and Ben Kenobi Force Ghost. And if you'd played the first LEGO Star Wars, you could also load in the 3 Obi-Wans from that game using your save file. Have one big Obi-Wan party, all of them together. In 2006, Obi-Wan got his own DLC for Star Wars Galaxies called Trials of Obi-Wan. This expansion also added Mustafar to the game, where Force Ghost Obi-Wan would send you on missions to correct an imbalance in the Force. Maybe the imbalance is the fact that you slaughtered Anakin there. Did you think of that, Obi? Now, Obi-Wan also appeared in Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron for the PSP, quite similar to his Battlefront 2 appearance, mostly the same here. Obi-Wan obviously also appeared in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, featuring all 5 of Obi-Wan's appearances from the previous 2 LEGO games, the 3 prequel Obi-Wans, Ben Kenobi, and Force Ghost Kenobi. Star Wars The Clone Wars Jedi Alliance, released in 2008 for the Nintendo DS, was the first Clone Wars game appearance for Obi-Wan. This game also let you choose which 2 Jedi to bring on a mission. So you could bring like Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, anyone with Obi-Wan. Not anyone, but you get the idea. Star Wars The Clone Wars Lightsaber Duels, released in 2008 for the Wii, and allowed you to control Obi-Wan with the Wii remotes. Another first for Obi-Wan, waving your arms around the living room like a Jedi. Look at you go. Star Wars The Clone Wars Republic Heroes from 2009 is another contender for the worst Star Wars game of all time, and I'm so sorry if you loved this game as a kid. It was, shocking. Obi-Wan was playable in his Clone Wars armor, if you can call these insane platforming sections playable. I'm not sure I can. What is this platforming? Obi-Wan also appeared in 2009 Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron for the PSP, but again, this was pretty much the same Obi-Wan we got in Battlefront 2, the original. Oh my gosh, guys, it's Star Wars The Clone Wars Adventures, that awesome game we can no longer play. Well, there is a community-made version, which is awesome, but in this game, he'd teach you how to use a lightsaber. That was Obi-Wan's role here. LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars from 2011 allowed you to play as the LEGO version of Obi-Wan Kenobi in his Clone Wars armor for the first time. And also old Ben Kenobi and Obi-Wan Kenobi Classic. They were here too. LEGO Obi-Wan also appears in LEGO Star Wars The Yoda Chronicles from 2013, the mobile game. Look at him running here. Did you know Obi-Wan makes a cameo appearance in Star Wars Tiny Death Star, where he shuts down the tractor beam? How adorable is this? Obi-Wan Kenobi is an absolute beast you do not want to mess with in Disney Infinity 3.0. This game is super underrated. Obi-Wan's got a bunch of awesome moves, lightsabers, force powers. He had it all. Lots going for him in this game. Really underrated. Love it. Go play it. Obi-Wan also appears in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, of course. This is pretty much what? They've got nearly every Star Wars character ever in this game, right? No. That's from 2015, but while we're talking about mobile games, I'm just going to jump to 2017. He was also in Star Wars Force Arena. Now, back to 2016. LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens only actually features 2 different versions of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Episode 3 and Obi-Wan Kenobi Classic. Kind of lacking in terms of the least amount of Obi-Wan appearances in a LEGO game thus far. Wait, how many were in Clone Wars? Maybe that's wrong. All right, guys, it's time to talk about Star Wars Battlefront 2 Obi-Wan Kenobi. 2017, the reboot. Obi-Wan has 3 different appearances: Jedi Master, Jedi Robes, and General Kenobi. In this game, he was also voiced by James Arnold Taylor.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
And this is possibly the most Obi-Wan feeling Obi-Wan you can play as. All of his lightsaber swings, his block stance, pretty much everything he does in this is characteristic of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Not quite as OP as Anakin. At least he can say hello there.
Hello there.
What a gag. Now, a lot of you might forget, Obi-Wan actually appears in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order as a hologram. It's the same recorded message as we saw in Star Wars Rebels, sent out from the Jedi Temple, warning all Jedi to stay away from Coruscant and to stay safe. Here's a little snippet.
I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen.
You're gonna love that. Oh my gosh. And of course, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga features the most Obi-Wans out of any game on this list. There's so many Obi-Wans. We've got Phantom Menace Obi-Wan with or without a cape, Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan with the mullet, ×2, two different versions of Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, one with the cape and one without. Got Old Man Ben Kenobi, and a version with the hood, and even classic Obi-Wan Kenobi with the yellow Lego skin. Best of all, he also says, "Hello there, my friend." Hello. Oh my god. So guys, are there any Obi-Wan Kenobi appearances that I missed that aren't on this list that you know about? Let me know in the comments. Also, I've made a bunch more of these History of Star Wars videos. You can check another one out here. And I also have a Clips channel with daily uploads. Come check that out. Lots more Star Wars content over there. And you can come follow me on Instagram, Twitter, join my Discord, and TikTok for more. And thanks for watching this, guys. My name's Andrew. I'll catch you soon.
Stay bombastic.